Now imagine all the party games that you've played in your life. Think of Mario Party. That was a good party game, right? My favorite's Mario Party 4. Now think to yourself, what's the worst party game you can think of? Something like Sonic Shuffle. That's a pretty bad party game, right? But then imagine, what if you turned party games into shovelware? Or in this case, turn party games into budget shovelware. Budget games for a budget mind. Budget games for a budget kind. Imagine if there was a publisher who published budget games under a simple name, and then you would have
10,
Simple.
9, 8,
Simple,
7,
simple
6,
series. Who
5,
taught the simple series?
4,
It's a simple series.
3,
What series?
2,
Simple series. You
1.
ever heard of simple series? It's Simple 2000.
So the Simple Series has got 4 party-related video games. 40 for party, 20 to party, Party Girls, and Party Carnival. And we're gonna have a look at all 4 of them. Let's all start with 40 for party.
God, is it hard to do that voice. It really is really hard to do that voice. I'm just going to speak normally from now on just because it's very hard for me to do that voice. Alright, 40 for Party, not too bad of a game, really. It's where you can play as like 4 different animals. I went with a hamster mainly because I just really like hamsters. Unfortunately, I couldn't play the party mode and had to resort to just playing the mini games because I'm guessing you couldn't play the party mode unless you had multiple controllers plugged in and multiple people to play with. But unfortunately, I only had myself to play with, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately, because I don't have anyone to play with, I'm very limited in the choice of mini games I can pick from. For example, some of them are simply blurred out because I can't play them because I need more than one person to play them. Well, you know, that is what it is. There are a variety of mini-games in this, but you'll see later on when we get to the other games, and this game gets completely overshadowed by the other games just because the mini-games are very samey and there isn't that much of a variety, unfortunately. There's, for example, slider puzzle mini-games. You know, who loves a good slider puzzle? I sure don't, because I suck at them. But you'll find out that there are actually some interesting ones to play. But then later find out after playing through every single minigame that most of them are just reskins of each other, which is kind of unfortunate. Unfortunately, there isn't really much else to say besides that, and luckily enough this was the first game I played out of the 4, because if I played this last, then my expectations of this game would be much higher, and I would be much more disappointed. But coming out of it, I would say that if you had to choose between any of the games, this is the one to miss, because there just isn't that much variety in the minigames, and you can't even play the party mode without multiple people, which is just unfortunate. I'd give this one a miss if I was you. Now, 22 Party, our next game, has no relation to 44 Party at all. Even though the names are similar, they are actually developed by completely different developers. 44 Party is developed by Who Next, and 22 Party is developed by Japan Art Media. 22 Party is also a much superior game, due to it actually having a party board, a competent AI, and having an actual theme, that being undersea treasure hunting. You play as one of 4 divers who are out on an adventure to get as much treasure as they possibly can for as much profit as they possibly can, or in this case credits, which is the in-game currency. You also have the additional goal of getting medals, which I don't understand really the point of. They don't really do anything besides give you more credits if you get them. So you're better off just trying to get as many good treasure items as you possibly can by jumping on the good spaces than you are really getting the medals. Jump on a good space, something good happens to you. You get a good piece of treasure, you might get your exchange rate go up. Jump on a bad space, on the other hand, you could lose turns or lose valuable treasure. Don't jump on any kind of space, then something random will happen. You could lose a piece of treasure, gain a piece of treasure, gain a piece of mystery treasure, or, you know, nothing. Absolutely nothing could happen to you at all. Then you have game spaces, which allow you to play the mini games that this game has to offer, which actually are pretty good and pretty well balanced as well. There are a range of minigames, all of them obviously being undersea themed or some kind of water themed anyway. And the goal of the minigames is to win, obviously. You win, you get 3 pieces of treasure. You lose, you get 3 pieces of junk. You don't want to have junk, because when you return to the home ship, which allows you to exchange your treasure, any junk you have will be disposed of, and the disposal fee will be subtracted from you. So overall, this game's pretty good, and I would recommend it to a friend, or would be willing to sit down with friends and play it. Not that I have any friends. But the downfall of this game is that it has that same Mario Party magic. You know, the magic where you could be the best player in the whole entire game and play really, really well and cut to the end of the game with the most stars, or in this case the most credits. That's the goal of the game, to get the most credits. And it do this random rubbish where you get awarded credits based on what categories you've happened to fulfill, what requirements, like, I don't know, collecting the most junk or collecting the most treasure. It doesn't matter how valuable that treasure is, you collected the most of it. So here you go, have some extra credits, which could bump someone from being something like last place all the way to first place. It's absolute trash. But that's the same kind of thing that Mario Party does, and we still love Mario Party, so even though you have that kind of stuff, I'd still recommend this game. Give it a play if you get the chance. Whoa. Now we're in for it. This is Party Girls. Now, if the title screen doesn't scream to you the exact message that it is intended, then I don't know what to say. But this game is basically idols playing game show-like minigames, all with revealing camera shots, and all of them in bikinis, and yeah, it's just basically a summary of how Japan is kind of weird, and I'm okay with that, aren't you? In all seriousness, though, there isn't really much here in terms of a game. There is 15 minigames altogether, and this game is more of just something to glare at for the fan service than for anything else. It's not like I'm trying to cut it short. Okay, I'm kind of trying to cut it short. Seriously, the FBI is knocking at my door. There are quite a few minigames, and even though some are similar in a way, most of them tend to just be there for the replay value, because the replay value shows all the good camera shots, if you know what I mean, my boy. Seriously, I need to stop playing this game. I need to move on to the next one. This is just unhealthy. It's just unhealthy for me. Stop it! Get help! You need it! It's not good! It's too much fan service! I'm glad we managed to get that one out the way. Thank God. Okay, onto our final game, that being Party Carnival, another game developed by Whonex, who, if you have already forgotten, developed 40 for Party. So, pretty much Party Carnival, in all essence, is an improvement upon 40 for Party, realistically. Once again, you can pick between 4 different animals. I went with the frog. Who doesn't like frogs, right? I also managed to play the party mode this time, albeit with myself and myself only, as playing as every single character. And yes, it did drag out a fair bit, and even though there is no board, at least I get an idea of what the game was more like. You pick party mode, and you pick about 10 mini-games that you can play with your friends, which is cool. The mini-games this time around have more variety than they did before, which is a massive improvement, and they look much, much better, as before they just kind of looked like 2.5D games, especially full 3D games this time, which is cool. I need to stop saying which is cool all the goddamn time. Pretty much, this is a improved version of 40 for Party. That's what it is. There isn't really much else to say besides that. It has a good variety of mini-games. You have different animals this time. Well, the frog. The frog's a great inclusion. I like frogs. And the fact that I can actually play the party mode this time is a plus for me. But unfortunately, it's still not as good as 20 to Party, which seems to be the underlying top game out of these 4, with Party Girls being the worst for me personally. It's better than 40 for Party, but not as good as 20 to Party. Just pick up 20 to Party. That's realistically the only game you should be picking up out of these 4. That's the best one. I hope you enjoyed these budget games, But for now, I'll have to catch you in the next video. Peace, my boys. Peace.